fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua, Andre Ward. Get this. You guys know of Andre Ward's call out of Anthony Joshua, and Anthony Joshua has responded. He had this to say. He said, payday in the Canelo voice. And he said, I see it all at 24 Rennie. And he said at Andre Ward, he said, don't come asking for multi-millions to fight me. Put your pride before your ego and let's rumble. And Ada Jesus 07 says, yes, I've stepped in the ring plenty of times and you fight with your mind. Ward was showing at age 32, so suddenly at 41, he's being back in his prime. 41, the body can't. Okay. And Andre Ward replied to Anthony Joshua. He said, of course, brother, do you want to fight for free? Business is always a reason, but not the only reason. I think you understand that. And Anthony Joshua says, film study is very good, but watching clips on YouTube is very different from real life. Andre Ward said at Anthony Joshua, that only happens in the movies. You know how the game works. And Anthony Joshua at Andre Ward saying, I sent contract. And let me counterpunch. For Anthony Joshua to respond is already big. It's already an interesting topic. Okay, but I will say this about AJ, and I'm starting to see some habits, some trends. You know, don't come asking for multi-millions to fight me. Put your pride aside before ego and let's rumble. Well, I think anyone that fights AJ should know fighting AJ comes with that particular package deal. It comes with that care package. It comes with the reality of knowing that, hey, I don't have to fight no more Andy Ruiz, Jarrell Miller, Jermaine Franklin, Francis Ngannou, Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois. All of these guys have this in common. Jake Paul. Okay, even though Jake Paul, AJ, and those guys are all filthy rich, what I'm saying is, for him to bring up money when it comes to Andre Ward, knowing that he has all the money, knowing that everyone can eat, I wonder where that attitude comes from, where you're going to fight Jake Paul and it's supposed to only be for the money, because it couldn't be for anything else. So you expect for someone that made less and expecting less to think different than you're thinking. Because I just think that's strange, because it's like, okay, well, you're fighting Jake Paul for a lot of money, possibly 100 million or 150 million or more. So why can't Andre Ward, being a true fighter of the game, a golden Olympian, just like you, different age, different time, different weight class, but similarities, right? A champion, high pedigree, all of that, just older than you are, of course, by what, 6 years or 5 and some change. And he's wanting millions, like multi-millions is what? I understand AJ saying don't ask for multi-millions, but at least let it be in the same ballpark as everyone else. But I just think it's strange for him to say or to mention money, like, hey, don't come asking for multi-millions. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, multi-millions means what exactly? Because everyone that fights you gets multi-millions. I think that comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? I think the pride and ego thing has to cut both ways. I think AJ should have and should relax his mind with knowing that because he's Anthony Joshua, and even though he has multiple losses on his record, he's still knowledgeable and he's still marketable enough to make any man that fights him a millionaire amongst himself being a multimillionaire on top of being a multimillionaire. I think he needs to understand that. Besides saying stuff like that, I think it was rather tactless, because I think that AJ is a guy that knows that anybody that gets in the ring with him are going to be blessed. Now, again, I understand what AJ's saying. Like, look, don't ask for so much money. You know what I mean? But he hasn't even put a price up yet. You know, I guess that's AJ warning him, like, hey, don't ask for too much. Don't price yourself out. I get that. But like, it's almost like a warning, like, hey, don't ask for too much because you're not worth too much to Rumble. Let's just get in the ring if you feel that you can beat me, you know. But coming from someone that has been retired since 2017, 18, which is a very long time ago, that's 41 years of age, he has to have a reason and a motivation to get back in the ring. And who the hell wants to do that for peanuts? Nobody. Just like he wouldn't fight Jake Paul for peanuts, you know, for anything that he thinks that he's not worth. So it's always, and it's almost like, okay, well, where's the resurrection fee when it comes from getting remotivated and whooping yourself back into shape with an older body? You got to bring that in mind, because Andre Ward had injuries that he doesn't really talk about, but he had knee injuries and stuff like that, joint pains and stuff. So imagine how that is now. Hopefully that he doesn't train. He's got a break in between. That may be better, but still, all in all, I do think that the money situation shouldn't be an issue. I think AJ should be comfortable with knowing that because he's Anthony Joshua, everybody will get paid. Let me give you a prime example. If AJ called me tomorrow and said, hey, Kurt DeVille, how many stones are you? You ready to get paid? You want to take on AJ? I'll be like, how much? You're going to want to know how much it is. You're not going to want to hear, we don't be asking for millions. You know, you wouldn't get much more than that in it, right? So, you know what I mean? So if he says 5-10 million, I'm like, okay, when do we fight? You know, I think you should make a proposal before saying what you won't accept, because you're the A side and he will be the A side in this equation. So it's up to him to propose whatever was on that contract, what it was. But you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua surprisingly responding to Andre Ward's call out to take him on, to fight him. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.